because they would never understand.
This video is brought to you by the Tasmanian Organic Coffee Co. It's coffee with conscience. Single source, organic, Colombian or Himalayan coffee from Tasmania, Australia. G'day guys, my name's iRideTaz and this is Dizzy, my 1998 XVS650. It's my latest project bike. Let's check it out. It's a 1998 XVS650 and it's the latest project for my channel. It's another bobber build. It's series 2 of the budget bobber build, and this is a perfect bike to modify. It's one of the most popular cruisers in the world. It's an entry-level bike. In Australia it's LAMS approved, so you can ride this on your learner and your restricted P-plate license, and they are very, very common, and they've got a cult following because they modify into a bobber spectacularly well. I picked up this one from the east coast of Tasmania for an absolute steal, and I'm really looking forward to getting into the build series. It's got a few modifications on it, as you can see. It's not in a style that I would personally do, but someone's thrown a lot of money at this bike to turn it into their perfect cruiser and tourer. If I was going to create a tourer, I'd probably do an XVS1100 or a 1300 because it's got more torque, more roll-on performance to pull the rider, the screen, all the extra weight and the pillion along more easily on the highway. But each to their own, and the guy that I bought this bike off was quite old, and that might explain why he wanted a smaller bike as a tourer. So front to back, it's got this really cool eagle motif, and that might have to get used in a different way as this build goes along. On the front headlight, hard to see, but there's LEDs that surround it, so someone's created a halo effect park light. It looks cool. It's understated. I'm not sure whether I'm going to remove that or not. The screen, I'm not a fan of, and that's going to go very quickly. I find it's too tall for me, and I'm looking through it rather than over it as I should. And it also creates a fair bit of wind buffet. And instead of making the bike, in my opinion, more aerodynamic, it seems to be a dirty, great big wall that the torque of this bike is struggling to shift. It's got crash bars and highway pegs. I'll be removing these. It's got floorboards with marine carpet. I'm going to have to do something there. It's got these aftermarket pipes. I'm not 100% sure what they are. The badging says Yamaha, made in Holland. I'm not sure if that's the brand, but if, like everything on this bike, it's done properly, they would be quite expensive. They don't have a baffle in them, so they sound pretty awesome, and we'll fire it up so you can hear it. So they sound pretty good, and at least for the interim, they'll stay on the bike. I'm not sure if the bike's been jetted to those pipes or not. It does have a hesitation from about 3/4 throttle to wide open throttle. I'm guessing it hasn't, so we'll try and address that. Still got the stock dog bowl air cleaner, as they call it. That's going to have to go. It's got a Corbin seat with rider's backrest. Just some generic throwover panniers and quite a complex sissy bar system that the guy has put together to carry quite heavy loads. This is a sissy bar that sits in the stock position, and then he's mounted this to the luggage rack. You can see he's grafted that to the sort of aftermarket back bag that can go on this bike. He's put just a bracketing system which is just making it support big heavy loads, which for myself is just completely unnecessary, so that's going to come off pretty quickly. Rear footboards for the pillion. It's got a voltometer. It's got the obligatory Flying Eagle brake reservoir cover. The mirrors that were on it were broken, they wouldn't tighten up, so I just had these from my XVS1100 project that I've put on it. They actually look pretty good. It's got Oxford heated grips. I've never had a bike that's had heated grips on it before, and they're actually pretty good. I'm really liking them. For the cold Tasmanian temperatures, it's great. Makes riding this bike in the morning really quite pleasant. They may or may not stay on the bike, but for the moment they work really well, and if they don't stay on this bike, I might be able to shift them across to my Triumph or one of the other bikes I've got. Let's put a 12-volt cigarette plug adapter on the handlebars. I'm guessing that's for charging phones or electric heated vests. That's certainly going to come off. It's all round just in spectacular condition for the age. I think because it had been for sale for quite a while, and some of the issue there was COVID-19 and lockdown, and some of it was the 60-odd thousand kilometres that the bike had on it. I've had a few of these Yamaha cruisers, and that 60,000 kilometres with the service history that it had didn't scare me at all, and the price was right. It was worth taking a risk on it. So guys, in the spirit of naming my bikes after Guns N' Roses members, this is Dizzy. I've got Izzy after Izzy Stradlin, and this is Dizzy after Dizzy Reed, who plays the keys for the greatest band of all time, Guns N' Roses. I plan on turning this bike into a Japanese style bobber, and I plan on doing it in a couple of different phases. In the first phase, I'll be stripping the bike back, keeping it fairly stock, but just stripping it back and getting rid of all the accessories that I don't like and just provide that extra weight. In phase 2, I'll be modifying it using the stock parts, and in phase 3, I plan on going all out a bit and just doing a few things that I've never done before. Fantastic. So guys, I hope you like Dizzy. My XVS650 has the project bike for this channel. I've got a long history with Yamaha cruisers. I absolutely love them. I've modified the hell out of a few of them before, and this one's going to be no different. It's going to be a Japanese style bobber, and I hope you enjoy that and join me for the build. If you're new, please like, comment and subscribe. Till next time guys, when we get into this build, and rip a few of these touring pieces off the bike. I know it's alright, Taz. I'm out.